All right, well, I'm going to try to talk about these books real quick, and perhaps not in a great way. I just want to show some people, see if I can get some of this. See right there at the edge of his red uh, leather epaulet or something like that? See that crease? That is not a small crease, nor, I believe, are some of these. eh, I don't know. They're in the right light. They're almost invisible, but that one there is pretty pronounced. There, you can see some of what I'm talking about, or maybe that's just stitching. Well, whatever. That's a pretty sizable crease for a 9/6 book. Now, hey, what's up, y'all? Anyway, so I just wanted to start off with that real quick because it just speaks to some of the problems and things with, grading and whatever. Someone says they have a 9/6 and then they just automatically put a 9/6 price. Well, that to me, I'm baffled by how that could be a 9/6. Either the entire rest of that book is flawless, and that portion right there was the reason it arrived at its 9/6 to begin with. Well, fine. But if that's the case, I think that shouldn't be probably any higher than a 9.2 or a 9.4, maybe. When I get a 9.4, I'm not really imagining I'm going to see a whole ton of sizable creases like that on a 9.4 book. That's my opinion. A 9.6 should be pretty amazing. Um, anyway, I'm going on here. I wanted to start off with that book because I was going to say I wanted to talk about it before. But that was my first thing of being, shocked. And that book was a graded book. Now, let me talk about some shocks that I got. First, let me tell you the story. I don't recall if I told the story before, but this was a book that I've been really intent on trying to track down this whole Inhyuk Lee cover variants. But I figured, start with Thanos. And so I started a bid on this on eBay, and it was like in the $30 range with a few minutes left, and it was about 3 minutes left. It jumped to 42, and I thought to myself, what is that guy thinking? He probably doesn't want to pay more than $80 for this. So I typed in 8000, and then I thought, okay, well, wait a minute. I don't want to lose this book, on some change. So I backed it up and I put 80.99. And I was already down to 30 seconds, bid, and it said, congratulations. And I looked down at the number, and it said 80.99. And I thought, how in the heck could I win this at my max? Something's weird. So I go into the bid history, and I find out that the other guy bid 80.69. So I actually did end up winning this. I tell you that to tell you this. I mean, that was a ridiculous intuitive eBay snipe story or whatever. But the reality of it is I pretty much paid max price for this. And that's not something I was trying to do. And I know a lot of people out in the community are like, max price. What are you thinking? Well, that may work for some, but I really wanted to try. And plus it was, it was a gamble to begin with. And, I won it for 30 cents more than the previous. So whatever. However, when I got it, I did also notice that there is something, it's in a top loader, you're probably not going to see it, but take my word for it, somewhere up between those lightning flashes and the stars up there, I see a crease. And, when a guy advertises a book at near mint plus, if I see a crease when it comes to me, I get a little torqued. I'm like, man, or I love the tag. Well, I'm not a grader. Take a look at the pictures and whatever, dude. You're a human being with eyeballs. You can say there are spine ticks. I'm not a grader, but there are spine ticks. If you put that in the description, people will get an idea. Drop near mint all you want, but anyway. So that brings us to this book. This book is one I've been looking at for a long time. And so I entered into another, credit being, it did say near mint minus. But it was a chance to straight out bid on this. And needless to say, if anyone knows what this is, going for, they know that this can get pretty pricey. Well, I thought that while I didn't, I wanted it under $100, but it wasn't that. It was slightly over and whatnot. But when I got the book, come down here, right here, you're going to see it right there. Okay, so that is a tiniest tear in the cover. Looks like it was dropped on something sharp, and it does travel through to some of the other pages. That's probably a bad example page right there, but yeah, you can see it right there. And I haven't investigated it fully or completely, but they could be torn as well. Torn millimeter, but tear nonetheless. In this particular case, I contacted the person, and they refunded me a huge hunk of that. It's like $80, I think they did. So, I mean, there's still a little bit of money in this book, but not much. But once again, there was zero pushback when I said on my response to him, I said, look, in my opinion, a near mint book can't have a tear in the cover. And like most eBayers send you back I've been doing this for years, but he just said, look, man, I'll give you back, and he just threw out a big chunk of money. And I was like, I had to think about it. Shout out to Pope Grimy. I gave homie a call and ran it by him, and it was either send it back for a full refund or take this huge chunk and kind of walk away. Well, I figure I'm going to stick with this. Maybe I can press a bit and it'll still be what it is. And if the book gets even hotter or blows up, I know I can sell it for $100. I mean, that's what I would have been willing to pay, even if he advertised it correctly. Near Mint Plus with a little teeny tiny impact, and I could have gotten this for under $100. I certainly would have bought it again anyway. So, in a way, I feel on this one, I'm broke even or ahead of the game on this, but whatever. So that's my little mini rant on people and their near mint books. Even CGC, 9.6. What is that? Near Mint Plus? Yeah, okay. It's your boy Pope C. Out.